Tasneem, hello. Thank you so much for your question. It is a really important subject, not just for you, but for a lot of people who are in the same situation. And I know that it is not an easy situation. In fact, I have been there twice with both my parents, and yes, it can be challenging to train yourself, to train your responses so that you can stay on the positive side while still being able to satisfy the people who are asking you questions. So I'm going to start with your your second question first. Your second question is, what can I say to soothe the patient when they are in pain? In fact, let me read out your post so that others who are clicking on this video have a perspective. So the question is, I am a primary care provider for a last stage cancer patient. How can I answer calls regarding how the patient is doing in an aligned way? Number two, what can I say to soothe the patient when they are in pain? And number three, what can I do to maintain myself on a high vibration during this period? So, and then through questions and answers, I found out that this individual is related to you. They are older. She is older. She is your aunt. So I'm going to start again with the middle question. So the second question, what can I say to soothe the patient when they are in pain? It's the same thing. You treat the patient the same way that you would treat a child. So when a child is hurt and they're feeling the pain, they just scrape their knees or they cut themselves somewhere and they're bleeding and it hurts and they're scared. Well, your cancer patient is in the same situation. They may not be bleeding, but they are in pain and they are scared. So what do we do with the child in that situation? Well, when a child is in that situation, we divert the child's attention. First thing we say is, it's going to be okay. Don't worry. I'm going to take care of this, or mommy's going to take care of this. Don't worry. It's fine. These things happen. It's okay. And then the next thing we do is we give them whatever medicine is needed. If they're dripping blood, you clean it up, you put a bandage on it, and then you divert their attention away from it. I remember in my case, I used to have a stack of shiny objects from the dollar store that if something went wonky, I would divert my children's attention with something that would keep them occupied for long enough to allow the pain to subside. So now bringing this analogy over to your situation, your patient is like that child. They are hurt and they are scared and they need help. So the first thing to do is to send them love. That's what we do with our children, right? We hug them. We put our arms around them. We hold them tight and we tell them it's going to be okay. And that's the same thing you need to do with this person. Whether you actually put your arms around them or not is not the real thing, but it's about sending them the vibration of love, feeling love for them, sending them love. And you can do that by so many ways. One of them is remembering how much fun you used to have with them or how they used to hug them. And at this time when I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about my grandmother. And I'm thinking how when my grandmother came, I used to run as fast as I could and go grab her and hold her around her legs. I still remember how good it felt. And it felt good because she was sending me love and I was sending her love. So love was multiplied. But it does not have to be you're feeling love for this person. You could feel love for anyone who makes you feel that way, because it's about your vibration of love. And if you vibrate love in the presence of your aunt, whether or not that love is directed towards her, she is going to pick up on it and it will immediately make her feel better. Because you know what? Everyone wants to feel cared for. Everyone wants to be in the circumference of love. That is one of our human needs, right? So she needs love. And even though she knows what's coming, she needs to be told that it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You put yourself in the hands of God, and God will look after you. So just have trust and faith. God will look after you. And then if there is medication that you can give her to make her feel more comfortable, do so. Give her that medicine. But the other thing that you can do is, so divert her attention now, first by making her breathe. So just ask her, let's breathe deeply, because breathing helps. Tell her you read it somewhere or you learned it from someone, and ask her to breathe. Breathe deep if she can, and just slow down that anxiety, that panic attack. Slow it down. And then divert her attention, maybe to something that's happening in the family, maybe that's something that's happening to someone that she knows, maybe to politics, maybe to some world event. It doesn't matter. Just long enough that her attention can be refocused away from the pain onto something else. And when she does that, she will feel better. And what you need to remind yourself of is that pain is an indication that her body is trying to recover. That is what pain is. Pain is a way for our body to communicate to us the fact that it is doing something to recover. You need to remember that every time. Whether or not you can communicate that to her depends on her situation. Is she open to hearing that? Don't give her anything that she will hear and have to push back against or say, oh, that's not true. You have to work within the framework of her beliefs. So if you give her something that her response is, oh, that's not true, that's going to make her pain worse. It's going to make her situation worse. So you don't want to do that. You only want to give her those things that she believes in. And so from my point of view, because my parents believed in trusting God, in having faith in the power of God, I always used to tell them, put yourself in God's hands. In fact, you have already put yourself in God's hands. And let God guide you. Let God look after you. Because there is no power bigger than that. And they believed that, so they accepted that, and it soothed them. It made them feel better because that was the belief that they were always brought up with. That it is the will of God. And whatever God wills is what will happen. So that's your question 1. Soothe them by diverting their attention. Now, what can you do? So I'm going in reverse order. What can you do to maintain yourself on a high vibration? First thing is prepave. Prepave being able to stay on a high vibration. I love my aunt. That is why I'm here as her primary caregiver. I am blessed to have this opportunity because helping someone else makes you feel your own value. So I am blessed that I have this opportunity to feel of value, that I am able to be here for this beautiful soul while she makes her transition. I am the one who is here to help, to show her love, to make her feel safe, to help her divert her attention. And you can do that. You can prepave those things. Before you enter the room where she is, prepave and tune yourself to a higher vibration, the vibration of love, which is what I asked you to send her. So every morning or whatever time of day that you first interact with her, make sure that you prepave that interaction and that day. And make sure that the first interaction that you have with her is always from a place of love. Not from a place of love that feels the pain. No, because love that feels the pain is not pure love. It's tainted with the pain. So I don't want you to go to her and feel the pain of someone's suffering and having to transition under these difficult circumstances. I want you to generate the feeling of pure love. Maybe pure love for a baby in your family, maybe one of your children or your nephews or nieces, or just pick a picture on the internet of a beautiful baby and feel how that makes you feel, because their smiles are pure. And when you look at a baby smiling, you can't help but smile back. You need to generate a pure feeling of love that is not tainted with pain or suffering. No feeling bad for this person. No feeling bad for your aunt. No feeling bad for yourself. No feeling bad, period, full stop. No feeling bad. You've got to go in there with a high vibration, and every time you feel your vibration dipping, tell yourself it's okay. I'm human, and that's how I'm made up. That's my makeup. My vibration is supposed to dip because I am human, but I also know what to do. I know that I have to line up, and I'm going to find something to focus on. So remember the analogy that I gave you before. I think it was my video yesterday. I don't remember who it was for. You've got to go into neutral first, right? So you've got to find something neutral, which means you have to divert yourself. The same way that I asked you to help your aunt divert her attention, you have to do it for yourself, because there's no one sitting there helping to do it for you. You've got to do it for yourself for two reasons. First, nobody's around. Number two, you know better. You know what needs to be done. And that's all that needs to be done. Just, it's as simple as picking up a pen or a bottle or anything that is in front of you and focusing on it with your five senses. Focus completely on it and observe it in detail. What is written on it, what color it is, what shape it is, how it feels in your hands. Engage all, how does it smell? Engage all five senses, because when you engage your five senses, they are feeding into your logic, into your thinking process. So when you engage all five senses, you create a diversion. Okay? And the same way that you need to divert her, you need to divert yourself as well. Every time you divert yourself, you will feel a little bit better. And if it feels overwhelming to you, it is okay for you to leave the room. Go into the bathroom. Go somewhere where your vibration is not affected by her vibration. Because all you need to focus on is on your vibration. You can't help her. So if somebody falls into the ditch and you give them a hand up, you don't jump into the ditch after them. So you've got to go up the emotional scale and then pull her up, which sometimes can be difficult if you remain in the same space with her. So sometimes it makes sense to remove yourself so that you can do the vibrational work of diversion, describing a pen or anything else, so that you can feel better, go up the emotional scale and then come back, because you are of no help to her. Because if you feel bad for her, you make her feel worse. Because then she feels your vibration, she picks up on your vibration, and then the thought in her head is, look at that, this person is feeling so bad for me, my situation is really bad. Right? Excuse the noise in the background, I'm getting some renovations done. All right, moving along. Your last question, and that probably is the most difficult thing. answering other people's questions. So the first thing, sweetheart, how can I answer calls regarding how the patient is doing in an aligned way? The first thing that you need to understand is that the reason people are asking questions is because they are concerned, because they love this person. Maybe, or maybe they just want to check the box that says, I demonstrated my caring for this person. Doesn't matter what their reason is, doesn't matter what their intention is. You need to stay positive by saying they must care. They must care at some level. That is why they call. They are interested. They want to know. And they already know. So that's the next step. They already know what's coming because everyone in the family or friends understands that this is last stage cancer. So they know what's coming. They just want to feel of value. Am I not blessed that I can feel my value because I'm here every day helping in some way? They also want to feel their value, and the way they feel their value is by calling and asking, how is this person doing? And it's okay that they want to feel their value because everyone does. And it's nice that people are concerned. It's nice for my aunt to know that people are calling to find out how she's doing. It makes her feel loved and valued. And that is wonderful for her. At this stage, it is wonderful for her to feel that way. So those are the things that you say to yourself. And then when someone calls and you're on the phone with them, what are the things that you say? Same things that you would have said to your aunt. She is in God's hands. We are doing our best. We are making sure that we do our best to keep her comfortable. We are making sure that we fulfill any and every desire that she has. We are making sure that we get her the best medicines, best medical help to make her journey comfortable. But tell them, we all know what's coming. And so, my dear, I really appreciate that you have called. There is not much more that I can tell you because this is in God's hands. And what I want you to do now is, soon as you put down this phone, I want you to take 60 seconds and just say a prayer for my aunt and send her love. And that's all. That's all you need to say to them, because nobody can come back to you after you say something like that, right? If they do, if they say, oh, tell me the details of what is happening, tell them, it's really difficult for me to talk about it. I am here and I'm trying to help, but it is a lot of work on me emotionally. And talking to people about it again and again makes it worse because it makes me feel bad. So I would appreciate if we just say a prayer for my aunt. And you can actually on the phone do that. You can say, let's just close our eyes for 2 minutes, raise our hands in prayer, and say a little prayer for our aunt together. And that's it. You won't need to do more than that. They won't ask you more questions after that. Okay? And you will have satisfied them, because they don't really need to know the specifics, nor do they really want to know the specifics. They just want to feel their own value, and they feel their own value when they make that phone call and make it known to themselves as well as other people and your aunt the fact that they care. Acknowledgement for their caring is all they are looking for, and that is the only thing that you need to give them. I acknowledge that you have called because you love her, and I will convey your love to her. In the meantime, can you please raise your hands in prayer? That's it. Okay? So with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I hope that you found this useful. I am going to post this on my YouTube because I feel that there are many people who will benefit from this dialogue. Take care, my dear, and thank you for asking your powerful question. I love questions because they help me to flow the answers. So take care, and if you have more questions, by all means, I will be happy to answer them. Bye for now.